Good morning, ranked chatters. Good morning, nerdy. Good morning, everybody. It's great to be back in the booth again. Thank you so much to Curry and Parker for opening up the day. And we are now here, nerdy, to finish off the day, the last two games of the first half of our round of 16 bracket today. Doogile versus Kenan and EDCR versus V-Strid. Nerdy, how you feeling?
I could not be more excited. I love those first opening two games, and I don't know. I'm just looking forward to watching Doogile, to watching Kenan, to watching EDCR and V-Strid. It's going to be a great first day to close it out, Feinberg.
No, I think it's going to be some great Minecraft. I mean, I was watching the first two games here also, and even though 3-0 Hacks versus Rannick and 3-1 Loki versus Beef Salad, it really did feel like those matches could go either way. Like you flip just one minor thing, like Beef Salad
Absolutely.
hits that 0, we're going to a game 5, right? Rannick hits the stronghold, he might be up 2-1 in that series
Yep.
if he hits
No,
the stronghold
absolutely.
at times. Like these
Yep.
players are so close. And let's start over to the whole bracket and just see actually what we're getting in store for us later today and tomorrow. But like, it really feels like, and I know I feel like I say this every season, but I feel like it just keeps being more and more true that really anybody can win the entire bracket.
Yep. No, 100%. I mean, you need to go on a streak, right? I mean, any of these players has gone on good streaks, they've gone on bad streaks, right? So any favorite player that you might have, they could have a bad day. Any player that maybe you're not expecting to win, they could go on a lucky win streak, or even just not maybe not lucky, just a skillful win streak, right? Maybe their opponent plays worse than them, maybe they lock in, and we could see really any one of these remaining players into our grand finals match.
Yeah, I mean the best players in the entire world. I mean, these are 16 of them right here. But the best of the best win rates are like 70-75%. So like you said, it is just possible. You have a string, especially if you lose the first game in the bracket, like or in your best of 5. A lot of it hinges on that mental. Like we saw Rannick make a couple mistakes on the eye measurement there in seed 2. Like maybe that's just a nerves thing, right? Like you're hitting minus instead of plus on the keyboard. Like that might not be something that a mistake that you make when you're sort of just queuing up at like a time that's comfortable for you, like an environment that's comfortable. You don't have that playoff stress on your shoulders, and especially being 0-1 down in the match at that point, like things can spiral quickly.
100%.
Really, really is anyone's game. For this game specifically, Duke versus Kenan. Let's see if we can throw it into the player stats here. And speaking of win rates, I didn't want to spoil it too much, but Duke,
Oh my God.
the highest win rate in the entire ranked player base last season, which also means he had the highest win rate in playoffs. Highest win rate we've seen out of like a top runner, because obviously, like, I don't know, for example, when I played in season 4, I played 2 games because I tried to Q snipe Poundy twice and I whiffed. And my elo was like 1400 because I had not played at all in season 3. And so I won both the games. And so, yeah, did I have a 100% win rate? Sure. But like, does that mean that is a better stat? Like, it doesn't mean anything, right? Because I've only played 2 games. So in terms of like
Significant
large sample size,
Yeah.
good players, this is the best win rate that we've seen since season 1 in over 2 years. When the competition is better and better every season, this win rate is the best we've seen out of any player in any season.
It's ridiculous. And
78%.
I mean, Kenan is a skillful player, right? Kenan's a very good player, and Doogile is almost a full minute faster on average than Kenan, which is just crazy. The fact that a 922 paired with a 78% win rate is just it's just unbelievable. I mean, that's just crazy. I don't know. I think Doogile, you could easily argue, is a favorite to win the entire tournament. So this is definitely going to be a very, very exciting match to watch him at any point during this tournament.
I mean, nerdy, in the last 3 playoffs, Dukes won 2 of them and got second in
True.
season
True.
6. Like 1 season 5, 1 season 7. So he's on a tear, right? Like he's not the 1 seed coming into this season, but he is the 3 seed. And like the numbers just don't lie. Like I guess Kenan has best rank time over Duke, 647 over 650. I know that was one thing that Duke was missing for a long time. Was a sub 7 ranked completion. Like he had a 701 PB for the longest time, even having the best average for like 2 seasons in a row. Never was able to get that sub 7. So maybe there's some arguments there that maybe Duke doesn't have the like top like 0.01% top speed that Kenan has, especially looking at Kenan, currently has the set seed world record. Obviously it's in 1.21, but the versions are basically the same. Like the movement doesn't really change. maybe that top speed is just a little bit more there for Kenan. That's, I think, what he has to sort of try to rely on to get the edge, because you look at every other stat and it's just Doog clearing away. I mean, let's throw over the seed stats specifically, but like, dude,
Yeah,
that's
this, I
just,
mean,
it's just disgusting. Like,
yeah, I mean, this is pretty gross. I mean, dude, clearly just the favorite in this match. I mean, I feel like look at the BT average there, 905. It's just unbelievable. As
yeah,
well
so
as room
faster than
portal
his room portal
907.
average, better
Yeah, I
win
mean,
rate as
that's just
well.
that's just unbelievable. So I think Duke is, I mean, obviously the favorite, but it's not. It's like if Duke makes any mistakes, it's Kenan will punish them, right? So I think Duke, what we're going to see throughout this most likely is that Duke will probably be ahead for the most part on most of these seeds, but any big mistakes, and that's where Kenan, he's going to be close behind, right? So it's definitely going to be an interesting match. I think Kenan's the underdog here, but I definitely don't want to. I don't want to underplay. I mean, how good of a player Duke is. I mean, I feel like we could talk about that all day.
I think the one thing I really want to pull out from these stats that I've noticed here is Duke has a significantly worse win rate. And I say that and it's like, oh, 74% on room portal. Like, oh, that's so bad. But on the two seed types that notably give you the least amount of food the
Yep.
most often, room portal and desert temple, he has the worst win rate on those seeds by, again, a pretty significant amount for his standards, right? Obviously, you compare it to Kenan and Oleg, he's still winning 20% more matches. But if you just look at the numbers, like maybe Duke is stumbling more on these low food seeds, right? Maybe his gameplay is just a little bit too risky and he's not adapting to those seed types nearly as well. It feels so silly saying that when it's still a 3 and 4 chance that he's winning the seed, but it is something to look at
Yep.
in the sea of these numbers here. And Duke does ban the Desert Temple. Kenan bans the Room Portal as well. Wow. So both the
Ooh,
seed
interesting.
and notably give low food. Duke's going to pick the BT. His best average, 80% win rate. It is interesting that both the low food seats are gone. You would think that maybe Kenan would have wanted to play the Room Portal, having such fast mechanics. Like if you've watched those set seed
Yeah,
runs, man,
no, I
it,
think
it
you're
is it is something different. Like it is something completely different. The mechanics that Kenan and the other set seed runners have. Like I'm very surprised he's banning Room Portal here.
We will have to see what he has in store for us. I think the BT pick, as you said, totally makes sense here. Getting maybe just starting off confidently, right? On his fastest average time. I think that totally makes sense. Doogile, of course, has been a former RSG world record holder. Of course, that, there's lots of stuff to talk about with Doog. But we've got sort of what I'm trying to get at here is we've got SSG versus RSG, arguably Feinberg. That's what I'm thinking here. SSG world record holder versus RSG former world record holder. It's just I'm so excited for this match.
And no AA representation, bro.
That's okay. That's okay. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need
and
that.
the Desert Temple. What can you do? Both the runners putting the GL in the chat, getting to our BT seed. And really what we're looking for here is how these runners are going to handle their crafts on the island, what trees they're going to go to, and then how we're going to leave the island and look for that ravine. Because both these runners find the spike basically instantly. Very easy in ranked. Removes all the dungeons, all the mine shafts, all the ocean ruins around spawn. So basically impossible to get baited by a fake spike. Sort of what they're called. As long as you get that big orange, sort of where you're headed. And it's not the best tools either. I guess we don't have a good axe. I mean, maybe the TNT placement matters a lot here if you don't want to make a stone axe, but exposed stone for both these runners here looks like we're probably going to be getting a stone axe, diamond sword, pretty standard tools.
Gold shovel as well. You love to see it. Just a little bit faster there. Oh wait, maybe Kenan going for the
He's going for the stone
stone
shovel. Yeah.
Fair enough. So slightly different routing there from these two runners, but shouldn't necessarily matter. As Kenan is out first.
Yeah. A little bit better routing on that stone, maybe, and it did come down to that TNT placement as well. I think Duke got 8 logs and Kenan got 11 from placing that TNT down. So Duke had to go grab 2 logs there on the side to have enough explosives for maybe a double blaze bed. I mean, we have 2 TNTs, so not on this seed, but just having enough for maybe ground zero, maybe some weird side setups, just having that wood in case you need it. And Kenan's going to be in the nether first here.
Ooh, but Duke makes up a lot of time in the portal, I believe, there, so able to catch up some time. First try flint means that the stone shovelcraft did not matter whatsoever. We see Duke maybe able to catch up on the terrain nav. That's something that he's notably very good at. Block movement, things like that. Getting 2 bastions is definitely a strength of Doogile. So we'll have to see if he makes up any time here. Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say, but definitely possibly saved a second or two.
Nothing super significant here. This is stables. Notably, I don't think either runner got a great glimpse of what these other ramparts are looking like. This is right triple, so we might just be sending triple to gap from this situation. If it's a double in the middle, we could be sending it through the middle here. Let's see. It's a single, so we could be sending it down the terrain. Doogle's looking at the terrain there. But there was some netherrack. We'll see how these runners handle it. There it goes, Kenan right here, digging through this netherrack. And you got to be careful of your health here. 3 hearts. Doog on 8.
Yeah, for sure.
Just scary. You know, you fall down. Hard for the piglins to see the gold right away. But both these runners are keeping themselves alive. Half a heart, I should say, for Kenan. Wow.
My God, yeah.
But he's
Scary
fine
stuff.
for
Doogile
now.
on 3 hearts as well. The straight
Oh my God,
piglin,
Doogile has a
this could be
straight
actually
pig.
really awkward. Gonna lose a few
And
seconds.
not only is it awkward for, the health, but the time, right? Like now he killed the piglin, and not only did that take time, but he's 1 piglin down, which could lead to having to wait for an extra trade cycle, right? Like if you're here in the bastion for a minute, that piglin's going to give you 10 gold worth of items. That's enough for like an entire cycle with the rest of the piglins. So that could be a potential 10 to 15 second loss for Doog there. Just the piglin decided to wander down. Nothing he could have done.
A bit unlucky there, but still, Kenan playing the seed very smoothly so far. Definitely taking a little. I mean, maybe not smoothly is the right word. It was a little bit sketchy, but he's playing it very quickly, regardless. As we see the pearls look good. 13 obby is what I'm keeping an eye on. That's probably going to be the pace lock here.
Yeah.
Let's see, we're up to 15 now.
18 for Doog. 18 for both runners, I should say. 19 for Doog. And we
19
do
for
have
Doog
2
somehow.
TNT. We have 2 TNT and a diamond sword, so we don't need any pre-crafts. Doog's at 20. He's going to be leaving right now.
There we
Kenan
go.
at 20 as well. And both these runners saw the fortress to the right of the bastion here, so we're going to be leaving out the way we came, getting to that open terrain.
And Doogile, I think,
just
is
a little ahead.
pulled ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but he pulled ahead somehow. Just a little bit faster somehow. I guess just with the dealing with the trades and whatnot, despite having the issue with that piglin, is going to be purling onto the fortress just a few seconds ahead.
Both these runners on the fort. Kenan playing a little bit more for strays here, and look at the blazes. He's got to deal with that skeleton, but the blaze helps him out there. And I will say Kenan's on lower food because he took a lot of damage in the bastion, but if you're playing this fortress clean, not going to be that big of a deal. He did drop a rod, though. As I was talking over that, 1 rod fell off of the fort for Kenan on these strays, and so he is a lot, like, ahead by a significant amount on these blaze kills. 5 strays so far. Doog is set up at this spawner. So Kenan is just ahead on this fort by a little bit, but that 1 rod could matter a lot. You know, if that 6th rod comes in really late, or like the gap between the 6th and the 7th rod, I should say, has a lot of blazes in it, Kenan could lose a ton of time here in this fort. We saw that happen in the Rannick and Hacks match. Rannick having to go for a 7th rod, losing his entire lead off of it.
Yeah, 100%. So 4 rods for both runners here. Expect to see some pre-crafts happen soon.
Ton of explosives.
And exactly 20 obby. So, and no misclicks, or no misplaces, please. That would be bad. 5 rods here for Doog. Looks like Kenan is building the portal. I believe this blaze or the next one should drop the 5th rod. There we go.
That's the 5th.
Oh, wait, no.
6th for Kenan, so no
Doesn't matter.
punish there.
Yeah, doesn't matter. So the
Doog has the blazes also. I'm not entirely sure about the pre-craft situation. I saw the explosives in Kenan's inventory. But for Doog, I'm not sure. He does have them as well. So very similar situation for both these runners. But the health, Nerdy, could matter a lot. It's 1,700 strongholds. So going to see both these runners hunger resetting down here. But potentially could have helped Doog a lot if he had to, if he could dodge this hunger reset being a couple hearts up. But can't have that swing in his favor here. But he's still ahead, Nerdy. He's kept his lead from the fort. No, he has to kill another blaze. Gets the rod right away, though, so does keep the lead heading to Cords. But not by that much. Kenan's able to throw this pearl and leave. Maybe only 7 or 8 seconds separating these runners, and that's a lower pearl from Doog, so Kenan lands on top of the fort here, which it doesn't look like he did either, and he's in the lava, so it's actually a worse pearl than what Doog threw.
That is unfortunate. Losing a few seconds there to the lava, but Doog here looking like he's just finding the coordinates, the exact place that he needs to build his portal at.
That's perfect
Like
terrain.
he's off by 1 block here.
Oh, falls.
A little bit awkward.
He's trying to scaffold off this terrain. I like that play. It gets him lower as well for the hunger reset and the stronghold potentially. Can just rip that end starter or rip that faster in the portal room if he wants to. Kenan gonna fall here as well. Same situation. He's not going to pearl the side of the terrain as Duke looks for his spike, and he's not loving what he sees so far.
I thought I saw a spike down mid. Maybe I'm mistaken. Like right off the rip. Oh, there we go. Yeah, off to the
Nice
left is
spike
what I
top
saw.
left. He's going to try to commit to that, yeah. Kenan's building under here. Look at this. Under the lava building. Didn't misplace, but this might not hit
Ooh, interesting.
starter specifically for Kenan. Yeah, he's
Oh,
under.
yeah.
He's under here. Could just
Will
be the
this
variance
matter?
that he needs, though, right? Are you closer to
Yeah.
the portal room? Are you deeper in the stronghold, potentially? Getting better nav, but Duke's in the PR, so it doesn't matter even if Kenan is farther ahead in the stronghold.
057, I believe. Is going to be a little bit tight, potentially.
But it's front. We should be getting there. We have so many explosives as well. We don't need to push the height. Kenan's not in the end. So as long as we hit that 0, don't need to be doing anything crazy here. If you're Doog. No triple beds, no 2+2. And he's just going to be taking it safe here.
Rotation potentially. No, not quite. But does
again,
have to do one more.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Okay.
He just has that lead off of the nav. And I mean, he built his portal up. Kenan built it in the lava, opted to not build up or not use that terrain. And that's, I mean, Duke was ahead, right? So it's hard to say if that fully mattered, but he did spend a lot of time in the stronghold. The spike wasn't the cleanest. So if Kenan got a better spike and was able to, you know, throw a couple better pearls to terrain, maybe build his portal up and not miss in the cave below, could have went in Kenan's favor there up to the end of that seed, right? It was very, very close.
100% there. We see entering the end, 720, incredibly good pace. Kenan, I mean, yeah, like you said, 20 seconds behind, still a sub 8 end enter is not bad whatsoever. I will note though, the thing that I think we were talking about before is Kenan had a good overworld. So there's definitely something there that Kenan can build some confidence off of. Entering 2 seconds before Doog, you know, there's still, he obviously lost time in the Bastion there, losing 5 seconds, but at the end of the day, I feel like there's still a lot, he's still competing with Doog at a very high level, right? And so I definitely don't think it's not like he got completely crushed or anything like that. So moving into these next seeds, I think he's just got to keep playing consistent and hope that maybe Doog makes a mistake.
I actually think it's the opposite too. Like if we can stay in these seed splits for a little bit longer, like 2 seconds in the nether, sure, like it's micro, right? And the micro matters when the whole seed is perfect, right? Like if no runner makes a big mistake, that's when the micro matters, right? Like the second you're going to save in the stronghold, the second you're going to save on your pre-crafts. So he's keeping that pace in the nether, enter towards the Bastion as well, no time. Fortress lost 5 seconds. Is that because Duke maybe had 1 or 2 extra pigs? Like, is it because Kenan took a little bit too much damage and had to wait to heal to play it safe? Like, I'm not sure. But look at the Fortress defining stronghold split. Kenan saves 3 seconds, and Duke had to kill a Blaze when he came back to the nether. Kenan didn't. It just came down to Kenan's mechanics on that measuring split. I didn't fully track how he lost so much time measuring eyes. Maybe he had to throw 2. I know Duke had a hunger reset, so that can't be sort of the time lost there. But the main thing on the seed is that 30-second difference between the blind and the I Spy. Because Kenan saved time in the stronghold. He saved 8 seconds. Even though he missed lower, he got his preemptive spike better. It's just the lava pearl that he threw to cords and a little bit of shakiness heading to the cords themselves. That's the one split. But you look at everything else on the seed, and Kenan's matching the pace, if not ahead, on these micro splits.
100%. Yeah, no, I mean, I think like the we saw the lava pearl seemed like just the main mistake in the seed. It's crazy that just like one slight misaim like that is really ultimately what decides the seed in a way. But yeah, no, that's a great point. Kenan is playing very well today, even though he did take a loss on that first seed.
I mean, when you're playing 2 times playoff winner, top 2 last 3 seasons, like you can't really afford to make those like any mistake, right? Like it makes sense, right? If against anybody, it'd be against Doog. But Kenan definitely shouldn't be able to count himself out, like or shouldn't count himself out, I should say. Maybe getting used to the whole playoffs experience, the nerves, the vibes, everything. Let's see what seed type Kenan's picked for us for seed 2. It's between Village and Shipwreck. Heading to the Village. No Ocean seed again, even though he was faster on the Ocean enter. Had better TNT placement, better crafting on the island, got to that ravine first. By a pretty significant amount too, right? Dude caught up, I feel like 2 or 3 seconds maybe on the portal itself. But we're sending it to a Village. Is it the fabled Snowy Village, Nerdy?
I hope so. That would be awesome. Big fan of those. Big fan of anything that's weird. I always love seeing the top runners play on weird seeds. But I think most likely it's just going to be a classic Plains Village. That's what you expect.
I think the weird seeds are fun in moderation, right? Like you wouldn't want to have an entire an entire bracket, right, where like the forts are in the wall, or like there's 3 bastions at spawn, or you're playing.
Now Curry Way, he would host a tournament like that. I'm just saying. I've got to call him out. Got to call him out. Sorry, no, but
I mean, that's the point of the no reset invitational, right?
Yeah,
like,
sorry.
Classic Plains Village.
It's a Plains Village. I mean, that's okay. That's okay. We like the fast seeds too. We like the fast seeds, and you know, technically speaking, if you get 20 obby here, this could be a really fast seed. Okay, that's not 20 obby, but it's okay.
It's 4. Something. Is there a second blacksmith? Yeah, I don't know.
Probably has to kill the golem here. Gonna craft some shears, which of course you can do because the golem's guaranteed to drop 4.
Wow, Duke's getting 6. Yeah, he's making a stone sword. I've seen him do this. It's interesting. It's similar to the iron sword play. I actually meant to look at this a while ago. Let me go to the wiki. I don't know the difference between the stone and the iron sword.
Isn't it 5 versus 6 damage?
Yeah, it's 5 or 6 damage, and the speed is the same for every sword. But that 5 damage, like the breakpoint doesn't matter because the axe crit does 13.5, so you need to do 6.5 with a sword. So the stone sword crit will do 7.5, and it works. So it's the same exact idea as the holding an iron sword or making an iron sword or whatever. Dude, as we're yapping, this is a crazy shift in the seed. Dude has to go so far in the swamp for gravel because the swamps themselves won't generate gravel. It's just sort of the river biome, and I'm honestly shocked that there's gravel that deep in the swamp. But Kenan found gravel 1 block exposed in the side of a a hill, not even a mountain. Just like see the stone that Doog is jumping up right now. There was just a gravel next to some stone there.
That's
so
excellent fight from Kenan.
But Kenan doesn't seem to know where the lava pool is exactly. I'm not sure if Doog knows either, but Kenan just boated across the swamp, now heading to a lava pool. So maybe he saw this from far away, and it looks like Doog's heading to the same lava pool.
He's ahead. Once again, ahead in the overworld. I mean, it came down really to just that gravel, but still, I mean, that's once again.
I mean, this is a significant amount of time, though, as well, right? And I mean, maybe not as much as we thought, because he did just have to grind gravel, so he's actually only ahead by like 3 seconds. I didn't realize he didn't get it from the mountain. So he's ahead though, Nerdy. Like you said, that doesn't change what you said. It's just I thought he was going to be ahead by 15 seconds, and now he's only ahead by 3. But if you're ahead by 3 seconds when you kill the dragon, you win the seed, right? Like, it is important. It is good for the mental as well, knowing that you're ahead against a 2-times playoff winner again. And look at this decision from Kenan. Look at this. He's going down.
Interesting. We see totally different decision making.
Wow. Committing to mana. There's so much obby in that outside chest. Oh my god.
I will say, with a little bit of lava there, it's a little bit awkward. It's a little bit scary. Placing the flint and steel. Now he's going to get.
I think this is going to. He has 14 obby, Nerdy, and maybe this play is correct, even without getting the obby there, because you have 4 obby from the blacksmith. Maybe the odds that you're getting 16 from the bottom of housing instead of 20, like that's the big idea with top down, right? As Manhunt's just the faster route. It gets you more pigs, gets you your trades done faster. Like look at how fast Kenan is heading down this bastion, getting into these gold blocks compared to Duke, right? He saved 10 seconds starting the trades. The thing is, Duke's looted all the triple chests at the top of the bastion, which is just more chests than there are mana. And it's easier for Duke to leave out of the bottom of the bastion than for Kenan to leave out of the top. It's faster for Duke to get the outside chest. So you're covering more bases when you're playing top down. But Manhunt is just faster. And Kenan hit Obby out of the outside chest. So he's just going to be able to leave this bastion faster. Unless for some reason he has like no pigs. But I'm looking at his inventory and looking at the trades that he has. I feel like Kenan's going to be so ahead leaving this bastion. Like, we'll see how it actually turns out, but...
Duke pearl hanging, I think we're going to see that from Kenan as well, but a little bit...
I don't think Kenan needs a pearl hang. I think Kenan is leaving.
Is he just leaving?
Kenan is leaving.
Right. You're totally right. Wow, look at that. Yeah.
He was pearl hanging and deal with his inventory. He does have the pearling out, so like he doesn't have to run out and use this time that Kenan just did. So he's leaving as well.
Oh, wait. There's Duke, and I think he's like a second behind once again.
Yeah, honestly... Didn't really lose any time to the top-down versus Manhunt play, which is a bit surprising to me. But Kenan's kept his lead into the fort.
No, that's a very good point, though. Yeah, that's a very good point.
I do still like Duke's play better though, right? If Kenan didn't get the outside obby from that man on chest, like he would just be raw behind because he didn't really save any time on this Bastion. It's so interesting. It's such an in-depth. It's such an in-depth part of the run. I know Duke could save time on the stone sword here. I'm surprised he mines 2 cobble. I haven't done the math on the time that the sword saves for each individual blaze kill, but like it does just take time to mine 2 cobble. I've seen Duke craft a stone sword on desert temple seeds because you blow up the TNT at the bottom of the temple, you have like 20 cobble, right? Like you have it.
Sure.
Here he had to go out of his way to mine 2 cobble to actually craft that sword. Like sometimes people will craft an iron sword from the iron in the Bastion, and then that's not really like you're not going out of your way to get that iron. So it must still be faster.
I kind of like it. I don't know. I mean, I mean, I assume Duke's just doing the faster thing, you know, and I respect the commitment.
Oh, it saves time on the golem kill. That's an interesting thought. Stone sword faster than. Forgot that you have to kill the golem in the village. That's.
I thought that was the main reason he did it. Oh my, this fiber guy.
No, I thought it was for the blazes, dude.
Sorry. No, but we have 6 rods already here for Doog. 2 stacks of pearls. It's looking great.
But
there's 6 beds, 1 anchor. Is that how many Kenan has? I didn't see how many he has.
Kenan has 12. He's out first. I don't know if he's pre-crafted though. He built his portal on the blaze spawner, like on the soul sand. So I don't know. He is pre-crafted. He fell off. He fell off with his pearl. He fell off again. No.
Oh my god.
This is the micro that Duke needs to get back in this seed.
Duke does have a 50%, so he has to remeasure going down.
Kenan did have to throw 2 eyes also, so this is evening out. This isn't like ahead for Duke, but Kenan is ahead going to Cord still. I don't know how he played the fort so much faster. It seemed like both the runners just went to the spawner and blazed better to the spawner, but Kenan measured so much quicker than Duke started measuring. And it's beautiful Cord decision, but a little bit different from both these runners. They're Nerdy, they're different chords. Nerdy, they're different chords right now.
You're right. And Duke did have a mismeasure.
Kenan missed on 2 eyes. Again.
Yeah, so I think so Duke had to measure 2 because the first one was like a 50-50.
Kenan also measured 2 eyes.
I don't know what
Kenan
happened.
Also measured 2.
Yeah, I'm looking. I don't know what happened. Like his errors are really high. It looks like maybe. I'm not exactly sure, but that's what it seems like to me.
Unusually low. Yeah, I see the error message. I can't read the numbers with the quality on the cams that we have. We'll have to send it to Fulham and see. Maybe there's some desync. Maybe he hit the plus instead of minus button like Ranik did earlier. But another mismeasure today from a runner in the round of 16. Wow. I mean, Duke's not finding the portal room yet, though. It's not over, but it's just such a time loss to miss the stronghold entirely because Kenan has to go all the way up. And then he doesn't even have the right chords. He has to throw another eye. If it breaks and if it's a 0 eye, he just loses like minutes. Duke's found the portal room and it is a 0 eye. So if the eye breaks here, it's really bad for Kenan. It did break, so Kenan has lost the seed. I think even if Duke misses the 0 and dies, Kenan can't enter the end without going back to the fortress.
Yeah, this would be quite a disaster, I'd say.
But I don't think Duke's gonna mess up. Back 95 here. We'll see.
First bed looks good. Gets the bow ready. There's the double bed. Okay, this should be a 3 rotation, surely. And there we have it. And honestly, I think that's for the best for Kenan even.
You don't want to know it's a 0 eye. You don't want to know.
Yeah. I feel like if he went through the pain of having to play that this seed, that could be really bad for the mental. He's just got to lock in and get a reverse sweep if he wants to take this series, Feinberg.
I can't believe he missed. I mean, maybe just not adjusting the offsets correctly or something. I mean, who knows? But he had the lead for almost the whole seed.
Yep.
Even with that though, like even with the same split, Nerdy, he lost time in. Like look at the finding stronghold 20 seconds, and they both had to throw 2 eyes, and they both had to like do this ocean upwards pearl. Kenan fell off his portal, I guess, right? So he maybe lost 5 to 10 seconds. But even with that, they were building their portal at the same time, and they weren't like 100 blocks away from each other. They were like, we saw on the screen like on when Doogile was building, we saw where Kenan was building off his gravel. He lost time again on the post blind. Getting to courts again, Doog saved like 10, 15 seconds, maybe even 20. Like, I feel like Kenan did lose a fair bit of time in the ocean on the post blind, but Doog with just way better pearls and way better train nav once again. And Nerdy, maybe it's one of these things that like you don't have to do that in SSG. That's not a skill.
That is true.
That's not a skill that you practice. Like your mechanics, your head hitters, your block movement, everything you practice. But in SSG, you know, like, oh, you're building off of like this netherrack in the wall, or like you're throwing the pearls off of like a visual lineup. And in set seed, you're allowed to pause, right? Like it only goes off of in-game time, like timing system. Some of my words there, but like you can wait and line stuff up and like make sure you're throwing the great pearls and like pause when your pearl lands and like line it up with the terrain on the wall. You can't do that in ranked. You're losing that time when you're pausing. And so Doog has saved so much time. It's been the most significant split in both of these runs is this post blind, making these seeds from like very close nail biters to Doog being ahead both times into the stronghold and winning both the seeds.
Yeah, pearls seem to be a big separator. We do have a Fulham analysis segment here to maybe go over what could be going wrong for Kenan. And I guess we need a few more seconds, but that's okay. Yeah, no, Feinberg, I agree with you. I feel like if you're Kenan in this situation, that's kind of funny. If you're Kenan in this situation, I feel like you gotta. I mean, this is a very tough situation. Going against Duke, 2-0 down, but this is you still have the opportunity to come back. You still have the opportunity, and I don't know. I mean, you never know. If we've seen reverse sweeps happen in the past, so I wouldn't put it past Kenan to potentially be able to come back. Though it is looking quite good for any Doogile fans in chat.
Completely agree. We did get the ready. It said Fulham said ready-ish. I don't know exactly what that means. He's still typing, so we'll see. We'll see what he'll say. Okay, we're gonna throw it to Fulham. Give us the go ahead. See him break down those measurements and anything else on that seed, and then we'll be back for seed 3 in just a bit.
Really, man. Uh-oh. I'll do this real fast. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! I'm trolling. I'm sorry. I was ready, but I was only ready-ish, guys. I'm sorry. You have to bear with me sometimes. So unfortunately, I have to deafen during these calls, so I can't exactly know when I'm getting sent over to the main screen. My sincerest apologies for a little bit of a technical hiccup there. The reason that I was ready-ish is because I was going to try and figure out exactly which coordinates were correct for Kenan. But after throwing 2 eyes, we had 4 separate possible coordinates that could have been correct. Now, let's show this first throw. After boating, we see the first throw, and he measures it perfectly. Notice that here, we have what is known as -2, okay? So the pixel that we are trying to measure is 2 pixels over to the left. But we have some eye wiggle here, meaning that it switches between being 2 pixels and 1 pixel incorrect. You can kind of see it. Hopefully I can try and pause it on a frame where it wiggles. I don't know if I'm going to have that luxury. You can see it just... Can I get the right frame? No, I can't. Hopefully you guys can see it wiggling there between the 2 and the 1 offset. Now, Kenan notices this. Firstly, inputs -2 into his calculator up here and gets a 98% accuracy at 1100 away. Then he changes to -1 and notices a 96% accuracy at 1043. So, decides to go for a second eye throw. And after throwing this second eye, he's getting a +1 and a +2 wiggle. You'll see it for just a second. I don't even think that that second play caught it. Here you go. So we're at a -1, -2 wiggle. So we have -1, but it also was -2. Again, the same wiggle both times between -1 pixel and -2 pixels for both eyes. And I think Kenan might have low-rolled the 75% chance of getting it wrong both times. Or I guess the 25% chance of getting it wrong both times. Because this is accurately 100% said that we are this far away. So we've had a double eye wiggle moment, which is Very unfortunate, and I don't know if you can completely put that on Kenan here. I'm not sure whether he checked between the -1 and the -2. We can't really see it in this clip. He instantly, once the Ninja Brain bot refreshes, he's already at -2 here. But it was wiggling between both, and unfortunately, that's the sort of thing that can happen on, in games like this. And 99 times out of 100, you're just going to send when it says 100%, even if you do get the standard deviation message beneath. Some people may want to rethrow an eye, especially because you can notice that the error for I1 is very high when we know that there was a wiggle in that eye as well. It's just a very difficult situation. You do feel for Kenan here, who was unfortunate enough to have both eyes not be absolutely perfect. Unfortunate, but he's going to have to lock back in for our next seed. I'm going to send you guys back over to Nerdy and Feinberg right now.
Unfortunate eye wiggles for Kenan, just sometimes the way the game goes, but is what it is. Nerdy, I think like you said, you put it best before the break, or before the Fulham segment, I should say. Kenan's just got to play his game, right? There's only so much you can do. At the end of the day, you can't interact with your opponent at all. Like, I guess they get the advancement info. But you just have to play your game. You got to keep that mental up. And if you're playing your best game and it wins you the seed, it wins you the seed, it loses you the seed against a 2-times playoff winner, it loses you the seed, right? Like there's only something to do against a guy like Doog. Let's see. I think we're sending it into a shipwreck for seed 3. We'll double check that on the seed picks here, but that should be the last overworld type that is available. 2 sub-9s already in this best of 5 from Doog up 2-0. I don't think Doog has ever been reverse swept. Let me, well, actually, it won't even show me on the website. We have this nice little player stats thing. Doog has had 5 3-0s, and he's never been 0-3'd in the bracket, but we don't have a column for like reverse sweeps or reverse.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're kind of rare, right? It's like you need to win 3 in a row after having lost 2 in a row. So I feel
definitely
like
a lot rarer than
the
just
stats
like
guy.
having a 3-0.
Yeah. And
what's the
obviously
name
going
for
against Doog,
a
winning 3 in a row is very hard.
what's the name for a reverse sweep? Is it just like a choke? Like if Doog lost this, like what do you just call it, a choke? I don't know, like a better word for that. Like if you're up.
No.
I just don't know a better word. I don't know. Because it's called a reverse sweep. Like
I feel like that's a fine name. That's a fine name, no?
a clutch, maybe. Doogile got reverse swept. Nah, swept. That's the word. Couldn't think of the word.
Sweat? Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. I was
Wow, look at this.
confused what you're asking there.
Already a crazy, interesting moment of the seat so far. Doog didn't grab the wheat.
What? So it's big misplay.
Yeah, I mean the chest was full, and there were a ton of poisonous potatoes, and they looked the same. Like they looked similar colors, I guess. Like, but he didn't. He just didn't grab the wheat. Like he's just down 4 bread. And like, sure, 48 rotten flesh is a lot of food, but like, purling is so slow on rotten flesh healing. Like you'll heal the hearts, but over minutes, you'll heal the hearts, not over seconds, which is what you need purling to the fort, 2 coordinates, up to 0 tower even potentially.
So beyond just pearls, I'd say the big thing to focus on in this seed with this mistake from Doog is how much damage is Doog going to take, right? Any little bit of fall damage, any hits from piglins, anything like that is going to be a massive time loss compared to Kenan. So that's what I'm personally keeping an eye on. And yeah, like you said, Feinberg, if there's a lot of pearl opportunities for Kenan, that could be a good opportunity for him to make up time on Doog. Lots of things like that. But on top of that, if this seed is just slow in general, I'd say that's a massive advantage for Kenan. So we'll have to see the nether. That's going to be the interesting thing here. But if this is a slow and arduous nether, that could be a really good sign for Kenan.
Nerdy, this is the second Ocean seed we played today, and the second time that Kenan's lost a significant amount of time to the portal. This one a lot worse than seed 1 because he messed up his first portal entirely. It wasn't like, oh, he was just a little slower on the portal. He completely messed it up. So pretty behind entering the nether, and both runners messed up their boat clutch, which is more significant for Duke than it is for Kenan, but it's still significant for Kenan because the four bread is not a lot of bread. Like, it's way better than having 0, but that's still not the most amount of food to fast steal. Like, having to eat 1 or 2 in the bastion itself is not the best situation. They both missed the boat clutch here. Very interesting situation.
Duke going for, it looks like just single triple here, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's the left triple here is buried, and Kenan just checked it and saw, and so they're both going to be.
Why did I just totally saw that wrong. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, no. So I just fully thought that he missaw it, and then I actually missaw it. It's okay.
Single triple in playoffs would be devious.
I know. I was like, what the hell is going on? But there we have it. There's the 36 gold thrown to the piglins from that left side triple. So now getting lots of obbies. So that's definitely good for
only 9 though. I mean, there's got to be
triple.
more, and there's 15 in that chest already, so we should be good. But double triple falters when the trades are not good, and then your opponent potentially does triple the gap. But Duke's got 31 obby from just the chest, or 30 obby from just the chests. I don't think he's leaving here. Looking for a good pearl hang to cords, or to the fort, I should say. Not cords.
Yep.
The fort is at coordinates, I guess, but that's not what I meant. Gonna be checking his trades here and potentially leaving. And Kenan hasn't pearl hung.
11 pearls?
Kenan doesn't even have pearls from the trades yet at all. He has no pearls in his inventory. Duke has 15.
Hone sword again.
Kenan's committing to
There
bringing them down to the gap. I don't know what Duke's gonna do. Duke's just gonna leave. Duke got more pearls.
Yeah, no, Duke's got like plenty of pearls. He's totally fine. He's got, like, 2
So
stacks.
what happened to Kenan? Did he lose a pearl trade or 2 on some distraction gold that he didn't pick up?
Not sure,
Did
but
he
oh my god, Duke taking a bunch of damage there, falling down and messing up the block clutch. And like we said, Feinberg, look at this. I mean, 4.5 hearts here.
I think it doesn't matter
scary.
too. I just don't think it matters too much unless he dies now, because look how much time Kenan's losing in the bastion. And
no, you're right.
Explosive situation is the only thing I would say. Like, looking at, can Duke hit a 0 cycle with the amount of explosives he has? I'd be curious to keep a close eye on his string, his glowstone. Entire situation. That's the difference that Kenan needs, because he is just so far behind on the seed now.
I think he just lost like an 8 trade. That's the only thing I can think. Because he's getting pearls. I think he has less still, even though he went down into the thing. I think yeah, Duke has 13 and he had 16 and 11, and right now Kenan doesn't have that, even though he went down all the way to the gap.
Yeah, Kenan has 20, so he must have missed a distraction trade somewhere. I don't know. And he hasn't found the best terrain to the spawner either, just finally spawning it on his screen. Kenan just didn't pick the pearls up or something. But how many explosives does Duke has? Is that 3 bed, 2 anchor?
Sure.
I'm not sure. I mean, maybe Kenan didn't.
Low.
Maybe Kenan didn't elevate his trades. Maybe he didn't lose any to distraction. Maybe he just didn't pick up the trades in the hole itself and was just picking them up as the piglins were throwing it to him. Like, I don't know where the pearls went. I have no idea where the pearls went.
Yeah, I'm trying to think too. I feel like that specific route, there's not a lot of opportunity to distract the piglins with gold. So I'm kind of curious to watch that back. But
it's just like, that's the only thing that my brain could go to, is that maybe at the top of the triple he had to distract someone or something. Like, I don't know, just insane situation.
Regardless,
in the stronghold. I mean, look at the pace. Look, 6 flat stronghold.
Wow,
It's gonna be a sub 8, not just a sub 9. But the spikes are not good for Duke. These spikes are way too big. I like that one on the right for a bit there, but he's got some sort of overlapping spawner situation here. The problem is, I feel like Kenan is just too far behind. It could come down to the 0 cycle, though. We saw Kenan double bed that spawner, so it's possible he has so many explosives that he's comfortable double bedding and going for the 0. I don't know. Yep. You know, if it's a hard 0, if it's a side setup, Duke might not be able to get enough damage on the dragon to have a fast chase down, or even want to go for the 0 in the first place. So the seed is very much not over, even though Duke has had a big lead into this stronghold.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think also this stronghold is a little bit weird and potentially could give a variance edge to Kenan. If we see a luckier nav, or maybe a more skillful nav, depending on how you want to put it. But it looks like Duke is struggling a lot in this stronghold, and so We'll have to see. I mean, it looks like there's maybe at least one fake spike, potentially two.
Kenan's here now, sending top left.
I don't know
Going
if Duke
farther,
sent
Duke
this.
hasn't been here. This is the first time Duke is going this direction. And Duke's like explored a lot more of this stronghold, but he hasn't explored the right way yet. So all it takes is Kenan to just go where the portal room is, like duh, but like that's all it takes, right? Like it doesn't matter that Duke's been in here for longer. Like his odds of finding it go up and up the longer he's been here more than Kenan, but Kenan just needs to go the right way. Great spike down the stairs. Is it this light source? It's not. Both these runners still nothing. Duke's here as well.
You're going to play the safe and hunger reset.
Is it a zombie spawner situation? Is it just some crazy spider spawner mob jank now? Like the more you are in the stronghold, the more that the preemptive gets harder and harder, the more that mobs get in the way. Did Duke commit down this staircase? The Kenan's down right now, I'm not sure. Duke going down double stairs here. So unclear where the portal room is. Duke finally finds it off of that initial spike that he got just a bit ago. And he's got 4 beds and 2 anchors. So 6 explosive. Kenan has 3 beds and 2 anchors, I think. So Duke has more explosives.
Though. This might not be super zeroable for these runners.
That's a lot of damage that he took off that pearl clip as well. So especially with the rotten flesh heal, if we're going to be down to 2 hearts, landing on this tower, going for 90, it's scary. By no means is this a guaranteed 0 cycle.
Let's see if Duke can pull it off here. First bed looks pretty good.
Double bed needs to be so good. It's almost there. Are we going to get good damage off this? We are.
That's good
my goodness. And he air places the anchor.
Wow.
Puts out the fire. Wow.
God. Duke is crazy. That was unbelievable. I was absolutely terrified. Can't pearl down. Has to boat down on 2.5 hearts. Incredible stuff from Duke. They clutch off that 0 with very low explosives. That's an awkward side setup. Great stuff from Duke.
And he hits the air place to guarantee a good damage on the last anchor. If he just placed the anchor in the bed slot, it would have broke the crystal. You're just barely far enough away for those beds to blow up on the pillow and not break the crystal. The anchor being 1 block closer will blow up that crystal. So he hits the air place to have max damage last anchor to make sure that dragon's dead. He only needed like 15-20 damage, but it's just, you know, perfect mechanics. And he gets that seed done. Kenan, unfortunately, I think we saw some people in the chat saying he threw an eye in the portal room. I saw him digging up at the end of the seed. Was too busy mesmerized at Dougal's sick explosive side setup there.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
But it's a quick 3-0 for Doog, Nerdy. Last 3 playoffs, top 2, all 3 seasons, and he's won season 5 and 7, making a statement. Quick 3-0 on Kenan. Not saying Kenan played bad in any way, but just you're going up against Duke. There's only so much you can do.
Yep, 100%.
If that seed was almost sub 8, if the nav was a bit cleaner, just perfect gameplay. You didn't even need the bread in the shipwreck. Didn't end up mattering at all.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Duke played that very well. Honestly, like my analysis is that I feel like Kenan played these seeds well. It was like 1 mistake in each seed was the difference, and Duke just punishes that. But he was keeping up in a lot of splits with Duke. So I feel like the 3-0 timeline doesn't necessarily give Kenan the credit that he deserves for how well he played, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially more so on seed 1 and 2. Like this last seed, not as close as the first 2, but seed 1 and 2. And obviously, he missed the strong on seed 2 due to some eye wiggle unluckiness, even after two measurements. But he was like keeping pace on 90% of the splits. It's just when you're playing Duke, if you mess up that last 10% of the seed, he's gonna punish you in that. He's gonna hit every 0. He's gonna hit every split, top speed perfectly. I mean, the only shakiness, for lack of a better word, we saw from Duke in all 3 of these seeds was the stronghold on seed 3 here. But there's only so much you can do when there's cave spider spawners, mine shaft, nav, like double staircase down. I don't necessarily think he played that stronghold badly. It was what Kenan needed to bring it back, and he just couldn't hit the nav in time to give himself a chance on that seed. But I mean, closer than the 3-0 scoreline says, like you said, Nerdy.
And we do have a Doogile interview here. So that's very exciting. We'll have to see what Doog has to say after winning 3-0 against Kenan. Doog, welcome to the booth. Congrats on the 3-0 victory. How are you feeling for next weekend? How are you feeling after after your win here?
3-0 felt good. I don't know. I was like kind of shaky, low-key. I woke up this morning and I was just like so tired and like my hands were freezing cold and I was like, wow, I might just like choke on everything. And like I don't know if you guys noticed this, but on the first seed, my crafting was like so slow on the island. It took me like 3
Yeah.
tries to make the axe, and I was like, oh my God, like this is just gonna be a disaster. But I feel like after that, I kind of locked in and like pulled it together.
And did you know that you missed? I mean, you probably don't know this, but you missed 4 bread in that last seed.
Yeah,
Were you
yeah.
aware? Oh, you
I
did know.
like
Okay.
Yeah, I looted the chest, and then after I was already swimming up, my like brain realized like, wait, there was some wheat in there, and but I was just like, whatever,
It's
like
okay.
I only saw a tiny bit, and I was like, we already have 50 rotten flesh or whatever, like I'm not going back for that, you know. That could be the 2 seconds that loses the match, because like Kenan was keeping up pace so like tight on the first 2 seeds. That was actually like it was scary.
Yeah,
No,
it really came
it,
down to the post blind splits, and maybe it just is your playoffs and your ranked experience in general. But if you look at the splits on those seeds, like it is literally just the post blind. Like every split, like you said, he's just keeping
Yeah,
up so much pace. Ahead in the Nether against you on the first 2 seeds, and was really close on the third seed. He just sort of botched the 2x1. But your post blinds were just lights out, getting the cord so much faster. He missed on seed 2 due to some eye wheel stuff, but you didn't let the nerves get to you, or the shakiness. Like you said, you're able to lock in. How are you feeling for next week? I don't know, who are you playing in the bracket?
it's like
Playing
the winner of
winner
you and
of
Infame or
Mungie versus
something.
winner of
Or no,
Mungie versus
no.
Tutoril, actually, um, in the bracket. So how are you feeling going up against either of those players next weekend?
I don't know if I've ever played Tudo before. I mean, I'm sure like he is a scary opponent. I mean, he has no reset world record, and like he has a sub 10 average, I think. So he is definitely like a scary opponent. And then Mongi is also like I don't think I've played him since season 7 in playoffs, but like our matches were so insanely close that season. And like I remember he would just get me on terrain nav to stronghold like every seed because he's just so good at that, and like terrain nav in general.
Mhm.
And terrain nav is definitely like one of my biggest weaknesses. So if I'm playing Mongi, then that's what I'm most worried about.
That's interesting you say that because we were noticing that your terrain nav seemed really good today. Did you feel like you played well today, terrain nav wise, or do you
Yeah,
feel like
yeah,
that's still a weakness of
mostly,
yours?
mostly. I mean it like the first 2 seeds, I think my terrain nav to stronghold was like pretty much perfect, but then like on the third seed I did lose like 10 seconds. I'm looking at the
Mm-hmm.
splits. I like entered the fort a minute 16 ahead, and then I entered stronghold a minute and 8 seconds ahead. So like I did just lose 8 seconds on terrain nav somewhere.
Sure, makes sense.
And
Well,
like I was having some matches yesterday. Like if you look at my last ranked match, like my 2K game, I lost like a minute to terrain nav just because like
what?
I I like I took like awful terrain to the bastion, and then I just got completely disoriented, and then I like pearled the wrong way to the fort, and I just like I lost so much time. And then that's not even the only match that I've done that lately. Like I don't know, it's just like a weakness of mine lately is that I just get disoriented easily, and like I just lose a bunch of time on terrain. So like I'm trying to work on that. But yeah, that's just like especially if I'm playing Mongi, that's what I'm worried about because he's so good at that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Congrats on the win. We're excited to have you back next weekend
Thank
for
you. Thank you.
the quarterfinals.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, it's good that he knows the weakness, right? Like that's something that I think is really important to know what you need to work on, especially like when you are someone like Duke, where you won last season's playoffs, you won 3 seasons ago. Like knowing actionably like what you have to work on is so important, and it's going to make him that much scarier next week if he's able to lock that down. and improve on those mistakes or gaps in his gameplay, because it's such a hard thing to know why you're losing the time and where you're losing the time and how you can get better at it. And the fact that he knows that, like, going to be very, very scary for the winner of Mungie vs. Tutorole next weekend.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I think it's interesting just to show how meticulous Duke is, right? Like, we were complimenting him on his terrain nav to stronghold. And he's like, yeah, that's my biggest weakness right now. I need to work on that. So, like, even though he played really well, he's still looking for the time. He's like, yeah, you know, I might have won against Kenan, but I lost 10 seconds in that split, in the terrain nav split at the end there. So that's not okay. I can't have that happen.
No, it's so funny that he says he's looking at the splits, and as he's saying he lost 8 seconds, it's like, oh, I was a minute 15 ahead in the fort and only a minute 8 ahead on the stronghold. It's like he's still a minute ahead on the seed, but he's thinking of those 8 seconds. He's thinking of any of the time loss that he can possibly squeeze out of his gameplay, like able to analyze that micro. And it's what's made him so scary and what's made him a multiple time playoffs winner.
Yep,
and I'm very, very excited to see him next week. But today, Nerdy, I mean, we can look as far as we want in the next weekend, but today we have one more bracket game left. EDCR versus VStrid might be the most exciting game of today. I mean, obviously, how can you not be excited for Duke? How can you not be excited for Loki? But EDCR, first playoffs appearance, and if we throw it over to the bracket, you'll see that it's his first playoffs appearance in the 1 seed, Nerdy.
Wow.
Finished last season at rank 1, 2400 elo. Not to spoil too much about the stats or all that. We'll get into that in a bit. But number 1 seed heading into his first playoffs. And the thing about EDCR, and I don't know the exact numbers because it's not on the website, not in our player stats. But you'll look at basically every top runner, and sure, maybe not everyone started playing ranked in season 0 or was, playing. Some people played in the closed beta, whatever. But you look at basically every top runner's profile, and there's a line. It's right. There's 3 lines in your profile when you click on it, like above your graph. It's account created, like first played date, most recently played date, and PB. Like most recently played, okay, whatever, who cares? PB, that's important. First login date, yeah, sure, who cares? But if you look at every top runner, it's all basically the same day. It's like when Ranked came out, everyone checked it out. Maybe you didn't play for a while, but you at least downloaded the mod, clicked around with it, saw what the hype was about. Everyone's doing that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think at this point, it's like 930 days, 940 days. You click on EDCR's name, Nerdy, it says 300.
Yep.
He played his first ranked game less than a year ago. And he's the 1 seed.
And I want to say this. Okay? Not only is he the 1 seed, okay? And you might think that, he's inexperienced or something like that because he's only been playing for 300 days. But remember, EDCR has already played 3,100 matches, which is more. This is just for context. This is more than Silver has ever played. He's already played more games of ranked than Silver. Isn't that just insane? Isn't that just insane? I think that's just crazy.
10 games a day on average since he started playing.
Yep.
I mean, we'll get into all of it when there's more stats, more everything. We'll get into all of it when that bracket match comes up. We're going to take a quick intermission. Let you guys stow on that a little bit. Throw it over to a treasure tutorial from Beef Salad for our intermission video for this quick intermission. And then, again, VStrid versus EDCR, our last bracket match of the day, finishing out the first half of a round of 16. We'll be back in just a few minutes.